Hello and welcome to this tutorial, and in this tutorial we are going to talk about the complex conditional statements. So in the previous tutorials we have learned about the if statements, the if else statement, and we have also learned how to nest one if statement within another in order to check multiple conditions. So in the previous tutorial, right before this tutorial, we had a tutorial where we used nested if statements in order to check multiple conditions. But I just wanted to tell you that instead of writing multiple nested if statements to check multiple conditions, it is better to write a complex conditional statement which includes a single if, but it includes a number of conditions. So let's say we want to create an if statement, and inside an if statement we want to check two conditions. So let's go ahead and create an if statement, and let's say we want to check some conditions, and if this condition is satisfied we want to print some code. So the usual syntax for creating an if statement is that we type if and we specify the condition here, and if this condition is executed then the code inside the if statement is going to get executed. But what if we want to check not one condition but two? So if this is condition 1 and we have a condition 2. So if we want to check two statements inside a if statement, how do we do it? So let's go ahead and let's try to add multiple conditional statement inside one if statement. So let's say we want to check if the person's first name is ABC and his last name is PQR. So we create two variables. So we type the first, which is going to store the first name of a person. So we are going to check the condition that the first name of a person should be ABC. Now once we have this, we go ahead and create a second variable called the last, which is going to store the last name. So the last name should be PQR. So we want to check these two conditions, that the first name should be ABC and the last name should be PQR. So we go inside this condition if, and initially we write the first condition. So in order to check the first condition, we type if first equals to ABC. So this is our first condition, and in the second condition we have if last equals to, let's say, PQ and R. So once we have these things in place, you need to add one more thing in between these two. That is, if you want to check two conditions, you give the ampersand sign twice. So for example, this is your first condition and this is your second condition, and you want both of them to be satisfied, then you give a ampersand sign twice. Now let's go ahead and let's print out some code so that we could understand that the statement is true. So we type document.write, and inside it, let's say we type that your name is ABC and last name is PQR. Now if we save the code and execute it, we are going to get the result as your name is ABC and last name is PQR. So that's how you check two conditions. Now if any of the condition gets false, so for example if the last name is not PQR, instead it is ASD, let's say, and if you save the code now and execute it, we could see that nothing pops up, and that is because this condition turns out to be false, and this is going to make this entire thing as false. So this condition is not satisfied and this is not going to execute your code. Now let's say instead of having both the statements correct, we had a condition that either this could be true or this could be true. So instead of telling that this condition should be true and this condition should be true, we want to do like either this should be true or this should be true. So in order to do that, we simply replace this double ampersand sign by using this vertical lines on your keyboard. So if you're not able to find this vertical lines on your keyboard, they are right above the enter key. So if you are using a standard keyboard, you will find this above the enter key. So you press shift and you enter this vertical lines. Now this vertical lines are nothing but they are called as the OR. So basically when your if statements gets executed, it is going to check that either this is true or this is true. So whenever either of the statement is true, it is going to execute the line of code written inside the if statement. So now in this case, the first condition is true, that is the first name is equal to ABC, but the last condition is false. But as this is an OR, it is going to, let's say, satisfy the whole if statement, and it is going to execute your code. So if we save the code now and if we execute it, we are going to get the value as your name is ABC and last name is PQR. Now even though the last name is not PQR, it is displaying, so that is because we have entered it. So this is what an OR is, and it is different from the AND which we have used previously. So that's how you use complex conditional statements in order to check multiple conditions within a single conditional statement. So I hope you understand this tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Thank you.